Hello, everyone. Sarah V here. I'm wearing different glasses because yesterday my job was to clean out to change over from summer to winter. Do you think it's about time? And I found my actual reading glasses. These are my prescription glasses. I found them in a pocket. So anyway, so I'm coming here. Hope everybody is, getting into the Christmas spirit. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have a lot of my decorations up. And, this is a very busy time of the year. And my time not only is about decorating my house, but it's also experiencing new things. And last week, I started to record my audiobook for Audible. So those of you who have not read my book, you can actually have me in your ears. I'm not sure quite how long it takes. We have one more session, and I tell you, it's really hard. So now I really appreciate, what some of our authors do when they make their books into audio. It's really hard. I actually have an acting coach who's actually helping me with my intonations and where to speak, where to put pause. It's really hard. We have 4 hours of work. We've already done 2 sessions and we have another one coming up on Thursday. So what that is uncovering for me, all these experiences that I'm, uncomfortable, yes, because I've never done it before. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do this too. But what it actually kind of has been unearthed to me is how much I hear others, talk this way as well, is when they have experienced trauma, doesn't matter what it is, they'll say, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. So I'm calling this video the no big deal factor of trauma. And I talked about it and shared it with those of you who joined me in my manifesting circle every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. But isn't it amazing if a trauma or something that causes discomfort in ourselves, where we just say, oh, it's no big deal. And we kind of cover it up, we push it away, we pretend it's not a big deal. And what happens when we do that is that same energy keeps popping up in different areas of your life. And I know what it did for me, because, what I was always told was, oh, Sarah, don't be silly. Just go have some tea, take it outside kind of attitude. And this little girl inside of me wanted to know that there wasn't something wrong with me, that, and I talk about this in my book. And what has been revealed to me, actually listening to myself, read the book, and I'm kind of listening as I go, I've had a lot of trauma. I have had, and when we think of trauma, we perhaps think about, sexual abuse, physical abuse. That did not happen to me. And there is some meter or gauge in our society that thinks that if you haven't had that, then you really should just get on with it. And in my case, just go drink some tea. Well, I want you to know, and I want to reassure you that whatever has caused discomfort and, pain, or, something that just feels bad, that is trauma. And it doesn't have to be this, a death, because that is very traumatizing, especially for children. And, it doesn't have to be something catastrophic. Going to war is considered, a traumatic experience, obviously, and not every one of us go off to war because we come back with perhaps PTSD. But I'm talking about myself. I have had a lot of things that this little girl, the little girl inside of me, I talk about that in The Art of Healing, reparenting your inner child. She has faced a lot of trauma. And then, I kind of think, oh my God, well, no wonder it was really difficult for me to manifest anything in my life, because it was told, I was kind of told, just like I said, take it outside. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. But why isn't it? Trauma is kind of defined as a deeply distressing and disturbing experience. And if we deny it, we can sometimes become paralyzed by it. So I had a friend, a male friend, and he was telling me that, he's so out of alignment with the holidays. I too am very out of alignment. And I realized, well, listening to his story, I also had trauma in, around the holidays. Holidays come and I feel this like, oh my God, this feeling. I mean, now that I've transitioned out of my marriage, it's a whole new ball game now. But this story that he was telling, he was trying to figure out, well, why do I feel, out of alignment? Why is it so difficult for me? Through the holidays, he feels this deep sadness. And so I was just kind of asking him questions, and I was like, well, what's happened to you in your experience? And there was one experience where his family was they were having some marital issues, and they were decorating their house, and he went out to go get something, for, I don't know what, but he went to the store. And when he returned, the daughters and the wife had taken everything and taken it to their other house. And when he came back, the house was completely stripped of any kind of family, and also the decorations. And this wasn't the only incident. And then he was just, and then when he tried to go down to the other house, they told him to leave. Like, who does that? Like, who does that? Who does that to somebody else? Maybe do it in January or something. But and then he would say, oh, well, it's no big deal. Yes, it is. Whatever, if you feel distressed about how somebody treats you, or really, really any kind of distressing experience that disturbs you, and it makes you feel unsafe, or it makes you feel kind of insecure, this is trauma. It doesn't have to be something catastrophic, and I think we underestimate how much we allow ourselves to feel, and then we just dismiss it, or we say to ourselves, oh, don't be a baby. I mean, come on. And I just want to reassure you that if being loving to ourselves is to allow ourselves to kind of feel it's okay. Like, I know that what I do now, and sometimes I say it out loud in the grocery store, but I'll say, like, if I feel something coming up, I will notice it, and I will actually say out loud, it's okay. It's okay, because it's acknowledging the feeling that perhaps you experienced, before. It is honoring, like, it's okay, I get it, rather than what I used to do is like, oh my God, are you serious? I thought I already healed that. Oh, or here we go again, right? So allow yourself to honor whatever is coming up, because trauma is trauma. Your reality is your reality. And, if you've experienced something as trauma, allow yourself to be entitled to call it trauma. You're not being dramatic. You're not being, like weak or vulnerable. Just acknowledge it, because if you acknowledge it, it shows that you're honoring it, and it shows that it doesn't have to grip on, because something has triggered that from your past. So if you're feeling trauma, just allow it and just say it's okay. You can even, sometimes making it into a mantra, like my reality is my reality. If I've experienced something as traumatic, I am entitled to call it traumatic. Just allow it. And therefore the grip kind of loosens. Okay, so that's kind of my manifesting tip, because the unacknowledged energy of trauma will keep you stuck from opening to being in the receiving mode. So this is exciting. And it was just exciting to me to be able to witness this as I'm listening to myself reading, because it's like, oh my God, this is my story. So I hope that perhaps, even giving my book as a holiday gift, and I can sign any books for anybody for a holiday gift, but this story is so important to me, and I actually have a meeting right now with my editor for my next book, which will be coming out in 2023. I'm not quite sure yet. And what else is happening? My audiobook will be available. I'm not sure when that's going to be available. And I'm going to be running an online retreat coming up in 2023. It's actually a 6-week manifesting course, which is going to be really exciting. I don't have the dates yet. We're all working on this right now. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be opening to all of you coming up in 2023. I feel, like a brand new woman, and I can create whatever path that I desire right now. Anyway, so that's my manifesting tip. Come in on Sundays. It's always going to be available for you. Yeah, so I think that's it. So have a beautiful day, whatever you're doing, and acknowledge, and you are entitled to calling whatever happened to you trauma. Okay, take care.